So before we learn what is user experience design and UI design, we need to understand what exactly is design. Design as a concept. Design is the process of envisioning and planning the creation of objects, systems, or processes that address specific needs or solve particular problems. So, what does this mean in practice? First of all, design is a process where you envision an outcome or an objective and plan to achieve that objective. Now, this objective is either can be creation of objects, systems, or even processes. And one thing to note is that when we design to solve a particular problem. For example, when we are designing a financial app, we are looking into aspects that will help users achieve their financial objectives. For a food delivery service, it's going to have a different purpose. People want to order food. So the objectives of these two systems are completely different, and therefore the pain points and the problems faced are going to be unique to that particular goal. Now that we understand the concept of design, let's see the types of design practices that exist today. As UX UI designer, you're not just creating screens, you're solving problems and shaping experiences. And to truly master this craft, it is important to understand that design is a vast universe with many different branches. Each type of design has its own rules, tools, and impact. But together they give a broader perspective that can make our UX UI work much stronger. Let's take a quick look through major types of design disciplines. Interior design. This is all about creating functional and aesthetic spaces inside buildings. It teaches us the importance of flow, spatial hierarchy, and how people move through environments. Industrial design. Think physical products like your phone, a chair, or a coffee machine. Industrial designers focus on usability, ergonomics, and form. Fashion design. Fashion is all about self-expression, form, color theory, and trends. It reminds us to balance creativity with usability, to make designs that not only work well but also look and feel amazing. Architectural design. The original design thinking field. Architects solve human problems through structure, planning, and harmony between form and function. Service design. This is one of the closest relatives of UX design. It's about designing entire systems of interactions, like your Uber ride or hospital visit. Service designers ensure every touchpoint in a journey feels seamless and meaningful. Graphic design. This one's a classic. Graphic design focuses on visual storytelling, branding, typography, and layout. These are essential for any UI designer to create interfaces that are both beautiful and functional. Web design. While often confused with UI, web design focuses on creating websites that combine layout, performance, and user needs. Visual design. This is more about look and feel, mood boards, color palettes, iconography, and illustrations. It is the art of creating aesthetics with purpose, a core part of modern UI design. Since this is the dedicated UX and UI course, let's have a look at our core topics. UX design. UX design focuses on enhancing user satisfaction by improving usability, accessibility, and pleasure, provided in the interaction between the user and the product. User interface design. A user interface design is creating of the interfaces through which a user interacts with the device, including buttons, icons, spacing, typography, and color schemes. When you understand design as a whole, you become more empathetic and multi-dimensional UX UI designer. Now that we are aware of types of designs, let's have a look at what makes a good design. When you open apps like Uber, Instagram, or Snapchat, everything just seems to be working perfectly. You find what you need and you don't have to think too hard, and it feels good. That's good design. As Don Norman said, good design is actually a lot harder to notice than poor design. In part because good design fit our needs so well that design is invisible. And that's the goal of great UX, to make design feel natural and not forced. Let's talk about Don Norman for a moment. Don Norman is a cognitive scientist and the father of the term user experience. His book, The Design of Everyday Things, is a must-read for all designers. He teaches us that every design, digital or physical, should be intuitive and usable and not just beautiful. Now let's meet another design icon, Dieter Rams. While he designed physical products like radios and appliances for Braun, his functional principles of design apply perfectly to digital UX and UI today. Let's go through his 10 principles of good design. According to Dieter Rams, 10 principles of good design are: good design is innovative. In UX, this might look like Instagram stories when they first launched, a new way to interact with content using familiar gestures. Innovation doesn't always mean flashy. It means solving user problems in fresh, meaningful ways. Good design makes a product useful. Think about Google Maps. Its interface fades into background while helping you navigate anywhere. Every button, toggle, and feature has a purpose. Good design is aesthetic. Products like Notion and Apple Music aren't just functional. They feel delightful. The typography, the spacing, and the use of color keep users engaged while reinforcing the brand. Good designs makes a product understandable. A good design doesn't need a tutorial. That means it feels more intuitive. Think of the iPhone camera app. Open, tap, click. Simple, intuitive, zero friction. That's great design. Good design is unobstructive. In UX, this means the interfaces that support the user's tasks without interrupting them. Minimal modals, subtle tooltips, and clear CTAs that respect attention. Good design is honest. A good UI doesn't trick you. There are no dark patterns like fake countdown timers or misleading buttons. Duolingo, for example, is clear about what's free and what's paid. That's building trust. And that's how Duolingo builds trust with its users. Good design is long-lasting. Ever notice how Google's homepage has barely changed in decades? That's because the core experience is timeless. Search, enter, result. Great designs stay relevant without chasing every trend. Good design is thorough down to the last detail. Details matter. Micro interactions like button ripples, form field error states, or thoughtful loading animations all show care. Figma's interface, for instance, is packed with tiny details that make the entire design workflow smoother. Good design is environmentally friendly. In digital design, this means lightweight, fast-loading experiences that don't drain battery or bandwidth, efficient code, lazy loading, dark mode, and responsible notifications. Designing with care for users' device and data. And lastly, good design is as little design as possible. Clean, focus, and distraction-free. Stripe's checkout page is a perfect example. One field at a time. No unnecessary steps, no visual noise. These principles weren't written for screens, but they perfectly guide what we do as UX UI designers. Because great UX doesn't just look good, it works intuitively, earns trust, respects time and attention, and adapts to real human behavior. So next time you're designing a screen, ask yourself, am I designing for the user or for my portfolio? Good design is invisible, but its impact completely unforgettable. Do you want to learn UX UI design to solve real-world problems and design innovative products? Whether you want to join a top tech company or you're a founder looking to build and launch your own game-changing startup, join Design Dreams to master the professional process that turns great ideas into successful, scalable products. My name is Arshdeep Singh with 15 years of design experience, and I have seen where aspiring designers and founders often get stuck. Many courses just teach you the tools. They show you how to use Figma, but the tool is just a hammer. And learning to use a hammer doesn't mean you are an architect. A successful product isn't built on tools. It's built on world-class strategy and deep understanding of people. That's why at Design Dream, our entire teaching philosophy is built on professional 3-part workflow that mirrors how top companies innovate. First, we master the why. Before we even think about the pixels, we deep dive into UX research and strategy to validate ideas to make data-driven decisions. Then, we learn the what. Here we bridge the strategy to the screen, mastering timeless design principles to create interfaces that are intuitive and beautiful. Finally, we execute with the how. This is where we become masters of our tools like Figma, using a professional process to build for speed and scale. This strategy-first approach is the foundation of every successful product, and it is the core of everything we teach. Join our definitive UX UI course, the complete comprehensive UX UI masterclass. It's a self-paced program where you learn our entire 3-part process from strategy to final scalable product, giving you deep knowledge needed to design your own user-centric products. And if you're ready for complete career transformation or learn the art and science of innovation, there is a 16-week innovation-focused bootcamp. This is our most extensive hands-on experience. It goes beyond the curriculum with live workshops, dedicated mentorship, professional mock interviews, and guided process to build a killer portfolio that gets you hired. This is your accelerator to the top tier. By the end of entire path, you won't just know Figma. You will know how to transform an idea into real user-centric and scalable product.